In this book's first page, I have found quite a lot of orthographic, well, not orthographic, but semantic. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not called semantics. That's reading kind of pictures. It's syntax, which is the building of a sentence errors. Because when you have two sentences that could stand by themselves, you need this, which they have forgotten quite often. And it's bad writing because in the first sentence they just put silly words that don't really are needed and make it bad writing. So they avoid being literature by that. And also I found a wrong fact because, as I told you, I am really fond of these three detectives. And I know that on their dump, it was not possible to see their camper thing from the outside. It was hidden. And here they pretend that someone is running onto this dump towards that camper, and yeah, that's just not possible because it is hidden. So there is different publishers that deal with this brand, and of course Alfred Hitchcock has nothing to do with it. Someone else wrote it. But then also they use a lot of filling words, as they are called in German. So then they have it quite a lot on this first page where it's not needed. And then, you know, is not needed. If you word your sentence differently, you can go without that word, because otherwise your whole book will be filled with these filling words, you know. And then also they have like kind of funny ways to word things here again, because they say it's a treasure place for not anymore used stuff. Schrott und Trödel in German is something else than a Fundgrube. So they could just say it's a Schrottplatz, as they did at the beginning, because that's what it is. It's a dump for mechanical and iron things, like metal things, rather than for everything. It's not really about, well, it could also be for this kind of Schrott und Trödel, but that one you really rather find in an enclosed space, like in a second-hand shop. You would find these kind of things as well. But in this open, you rather find cars and parts of sewing machines and stuff like that. So there is a difference between these kind of things, and they don't get it right on the first page. So I was wanting to tell you that even though I am fond of the three investigators, die drei Fragezeichen, doing their thing, I'm not really saying that it's good literature. It's not even literature, it's just writing. And it can help you a lot when starting to read, because even in a foreign language you would do that. You would read stuff that is below any kind of literature horizon to kind of get into reading. So reading is also about not reading every word, because if you read every word like a child would, and does at the beginning, then you always kind of fall over your own reading. Bob Andrews sprintete quer über den Schrottplatz zur Detektivzentrale der 3 Fragezeichen im Campinganhänger. So when reading that, you would just look at the different lines and not reading every word as I did right now, because then you get the story unfolding in your brains. You go, Bob, so within 1.5 seconds, not even, I read these 2 sentences in my mind. That's how reading works. When you read out aloud, of course you do read every word, and that's what children do in the beginning. They go Bob and the roofs. They go reading every letter. But reading works best when you don't read every word. Then the story you start seeing in your brain, and also you get on. That's what reading is about. You get better and better at doing so. And it is a lot of fun then. So something else I wanted to tell you would be that Darren Brown pimped someone into a quizmaster within a week by doing as follows. They had a room full of books, and instead of reading every book's words, they just went holding their fingers like this and looking onto the space between your fingers and going down every page like this. In the end, what was the result? This person won the quiz in the local pub by just guessing the answers. This one gives us the information that when we read line by line, not reading every word, we still do get everything. It's just somewhere in our subconscious. We wouldn't be able to spell it out, like knowing from where we got it. So when you need to repeat what you have read, if it's not just for your own pleasure, you need to take notes. Like whenever you see, oh, there is something new happening, or I need to probably answer this question somehow later on, you can also just remember in your own mind. You don't need to take notes. You know, you go like, oh yeah, well, this might be interesting. These 2 people, where did they meet? Oh, here on the dump, for example. So like having in mind to answer something about the book is a different reading than doing it for your own pleasure. So now you know that you can teach yourself a lot of facts by getting a lot of fact-based books and then just go through them, you know, very stupidly, like while you're on the toilet, holding your fingers like this and then go like this, looking at the lines in this kind of pace. So then your brain sees the words, memorizes them, and whenever you get asked what color was the Titanic, you would go saying silver, because you read it somewhere. You wouldn't know, but something silvery, like eating material made out from metal, you see in your brain. And because they are silver, you go saying silver. Okay, got it? Yes. So that's about what I can share about this, which I'm not gonna read. I used to believe that Alfred Hitchcock, you know, was the kind of, yeah, it's from Leonore Pushert. And it's after an idea from Robert Arthur and also told by G.H. Stone. So you see Alfred Hitchcock is written in bigger letters, we should believe, by not really looking at stuff, that Alfred Hitchcock has something got to do with it. Of course, this is for advertising reasons. Knowing his movies, you kind of tend to think it's just as interesting as his movies. But yeah, it's done by different authors. And also, yeah, they are very much into this elite agenda as well, because computer viruses, why would that be a topic? And then also music pirates, as I can read right here in the middle. Yeah, it's never about the nature, or here a magical circle. That's no good topic. I'd rather see them solve, like the car martyr, which is an animal. Yeah, topics or stuffs like that. Bye bye.